What's up, geography people? It's Mr. Barnes. I got some really good feedback from the class, and it looks like to me there's still some confusion on how to write a case study. And so, what I'm doing here is in this video, I'm going to explain the case study instructions, and I've modified it a little bit so that it's more beneficial for you when you're writing it. It's a lot easier, I think. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to write a case study a little bit more effectively. So we all know what a case study is. It's a specific example of a concept or an issue that we're learning in class. And there's a couple of reasons why we write these case studies. Again, at the beginning of the year, I said because it's practice for the IA, but that's just how the case study is set up. The reason that we're writing these is because, first of all, we're trying to relate the geographic concepts that we learn in class to the real world. And so if we're asking ourselves, why are we learning what we're learning? Well, it's one of the reasons is because there's a real world connection that can be made. And so we're trying to make that connection through these case studies. The other reason is because they'll serve as your evidence when you make a knowledge claim on the IB exam. And the case study really is used as support for any claim that you make, and you'll be able to draw on all of these studies that you'll do in the class in order to make your writing more hold more weight. And so the knowledge claims that you make, you'll be able to back them up with evidence based on case studies. And so since we're a human science, we use case studies to back our knowledge claims up. All right, so that's the rationale. Let's get into what needs to be accomplished. And this is where things have changed. You'll see here that I've changed. I still want 2 pages, 1 paper front and back. And so I put that here, 1 page front and back, including the map, because there was people confused if the map was supposed to be embedded or separate or what. It's all on 1 page, including the map. And so I've also increased the spacing. I had it at double spaced, but I'm okay with it 1.5 spaced. Single spaced is a little bit too small, and you're gonna be it'll be difficult for me to make any comments on the paper. And so 1.5 spaced, minimum 12-point font. And another thing I've changed is the half-inch margin. So you start out with 1-inch margins basically around the paper, and I'm allowing you to change the page setup so that it's only half-inch margins, so you can fit more in 1 page. So those are the big formatting changes that I've made, and hopefully that'll help you out. If you have any questions, just let me know. So as you know, it's not an exercise in summarizing the study. People do that all the time. What it is it's an exercise for you to draw the main points out so that when you get into the exam, you'll be able to, like I said, back those knowledge claims up with hard-nosed evidence. And so here are the different parts of the case study. And I'll go into these really quick, and then we'll take a look at the rubric as well. So the quality and treatment of information, this is basically how you present the information that you have gathered. So do you use charts, do you use graphs, do you use tables, those sorts of things. And typically in a case study, you're going to use at least one of those. And so you got to fit it in somewhere somehow. The written analysis is really the meat and potatoes. This is where you are going to get most of your points in this section right here. And that's because this is, again, where you'll make your main points. And so all of the facts that you have found, you'll add that to the written analysis. And so that makes up a good portion of your case study. The conclusion is pretty much exactly what that sounds like. It's a conclusion, so it's just a summary of your finding. 2 sentences is plenty. You should be able to write a solid conclusion within 2 sentences. 3, I would say, is okay, but I don't know if you really need to write more than 3. Where I really want you to write the largest portion of the end of your case study is in the evaluation, and that comes at the, like I said, at the end. And the evaluation examines the strengths and limitations of the geographic concept that you are studying through the case study. So make a statement, use your personal opinion, your personal judgment, predict what will happen in the future. If the way I like to explain it is, if you were in the shoes of the person making the decision, what would you do? And so if you were thinking about, let's say, China's one-child policy, would you A, continue the policy, or would you B, consider doing something else instead of the one-child policy? So would you change it? And then again, back that information up with, whatever claim that you would like to make. You can use evidence too if you want to back it up by saying, it would be better off this way because you can see these figures show, whatever it is that you're trying to prove. And then finally, the formal requirements. I've added something here. If you take a look, the citations can be single spaced and a minimum 8-point font. And so that allows you to crunch the citations in the end of the case study, so you can even save even more space at the end of the case study. And so again, it's just another way for you to save space. People were wondering, why, Mr. Barnes, do we only have to write 2 pages? And my answer inevitably is, it's not English class. And so the case study is for you to gain the facts that you can use as evidence to support your knowledge claims. And I don't need you to write a 15-page essay. All I need you to write is basically a couple of facts down on a piece of paper. I just need you to tell me what the case study is about, why it was implemented, and where it's going. And so, I think that the point again is basically just to gain the knowledge so that you can use the facts that you find on your exam. And so if we look at the rubric, you can see that the quality and treatment is 3 marks, written analysis is 5, conclusion is 2, and then your evaluation is 3 plus your formal requirements gets you an extra 2 marks. And I just hope that this video has been a little bit more helpful and that you guys appreciate the fact that I've changed it so that you can fit even more into the 2 pages. Hopefully this is a little bit easier. One extra thing, people were like, Mr. Barnes, I can't print front and back. My printer doesn't have that capability. I hate to tell you, every printer has that capability. You print out the first page, take it, put it back into where you fill your paper, and then print the second page on that other side. Always thinking. All right. So if you have any other questions, hopefully this clears things up a little bit. And just take a look at this stuff. And again, if you have any questions, ask me in class, and I'll try and help you out. Okay? Take care.